Well, this is my first time inside the shepherd's hut all winter. It's a little bit messy in here. We've got Archie's art projects. We've got the parasol. Costumes from the local panto. And yeah, it needs a good air out. And it needs some cork in it and a little bit of a freshen up. Other than that, it's really dry. It's done all right. I am very late to the epimedium party. Here they are, looking brown and scorched and horrible. But in amongst this lot are the most gorgeous, sweet little flowers. So now I've got to find my way through the thicket of dead leaves and rescue my epimedium flowers. So I'm going to have to trim this. And it means going very, very slowly so I don't cut off any stems of the epimediums, which are very delicate and are hidden in here. And every year I curse myself because every year I forget to do it and then I remember. So I'm basically going in and I am taking out all of the old stems, all the crispy foliage, and then deep down in here you can see the epimediums. In the background, if you can hear all the chickens creating merry howl, that is because as soon as they hear my voice, they think they're getting treats, which they're not because it's not treat time. They're just about to be let out. I'm doing this before I let them out, otherwise they will be all around me and annoying me, and then they're going to be let out and then they get treats when they come in, when they're called, without me having to chase them around the garden or through outside on the side of the road. What makes you think they want my attention? So the result might look insignificant at the moment, but every single one of these red stems is going to have this almost candelabra style flower on it that smells absolutely incredible. I think the camera's upside down. Trying to get it to focus on these absolutely beautiful. They're quite like daffodils in miniature. That's one clump. I've got another big clump to go through, but I'm really pleased I've managed to do that today. And let's be a warning to you that if any of you have got epimediums, get those old leaves off. So this is my second clump of epimediums, and they're a slightly different colourway. Ooh. Oh, it's that wind. Right, I'm just going to tuck my bottom in about there, have a go at releasing these, and whilst I'm down there I can have a look at these beautiful cyclamens. So we are tucked right under the cedar tree now. Let me show you up. And the rhododendron. Oh dear, these chickens, they are raring to come out. In a minute, girls, you can come out. I just need to finish up what I'm doing and then protect it with a upturned hanging bar. Otherwise you lot will rip the flowers off of my epimediums. Right, let's get going. I'm be taking this one stem at a time because there's so many coming up. The wind is proper howling as well, but it's a beautiful, beautiful day. very delicately so I don't knock off one of the beautiful shoots that are under here. So this is a larger clump and it still looks insignificant at the moment, but these flowers really are quite delicately beautiful. And if you know, you know. I feel like that's a job well done. And I've got the little cyclamen here under this tree. I'm going to try and get myself up, but first of all look at these little tiny weeny daffodils. Here's my finger. Absolutely tiny, beautiful. But look at that sky. I'm being bathed in sunshine. It's about 10 degrees. Lincoln has joined me in the garden and he's on his beanbag cushions. I've had them for probably 19 years and they've weathered really well. Not cottagey colours, but hey, add a spot of colour to the lawn. Anyway, today's job is to mulch under the massive cedar tree. When we arrived here at the cottage 5 years ago, the tree only had 2 clumps of epimediums underneath it and I believe 1 fern. So everything that's under there now I've added to, and I apply a really thick layer of mulch every year to give the plants something to grow in, because as you can imagine, this beast is very thirsty. I'm going to do a quick tidy up in front of the girls. We use the pine cones for kindling in the winter, so I'll collect those up. There is meant to be a path here, a grass path, but when the chickens are let out of their run, the first thing they do is dig all around their run. They absolutely love it. So I raked through, got rid of the pine cones, and now I'm applying that really thick layer of mulch underneath this tree. And that will help me if I'm going to plant any more ferns and things into it, retain the moisture for the plants that are on the surface here. And I'm going to trim the epimedium. The mulch I'm using is homemade, and this one is a very high stick content and leaf content, and the reason why I put it under the tree is that it's too rustic for the rest of the garden, where I need finer stuff, but it seems to do really well here and break down really well here. So this is what I'm pulling out and putting into my bucket. I'm not using a spade at the moment. The reason being is my hips are playing me up, and using a spade really aggravates them. But standing and using my upper body is a lot more productive for me. So I'm basically mud badgering. You can see it's got lots and lots of sticks in it, but it's actually very well rotted down. There's some bigger sticks which I'm pulling out and not putting on that border. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. So here we go. Excuse the background noise, we are on a working farm, right? It's just across the road from us, and there's a lot of noise going on because they are moving livestock, and there's wagons everywhere, and yeah, quad bikes going around. Yeah, so what do we think? I'm really pleased with it. So I think this is probably about a 4-inch layer of mulch, and what I've done is I pulled the anemones through the mulch, the cyclamen, the epimediums, the ferns have all been pulled through, and the ferns should start sprouting fresh new foliage any day now. And the plan is to put a woven wicker edge to this, just to give it some definition, because it does leach out into the grass. You can see here this is mostly chicken damage, and they tend to pull everything out onto the lawn, and then we have to put it all back on the beds. But yeah, I'm going to do a woven edge around here. Looking back from the chicken run, and you can see it's given the plants more definition. It's one of the jobs I absolutely find joy in spring, and that's applying a mulch. And I found doing the digger badger method has really helped me today. I have taken a couple of ibuprofen, and I can actually tell you that my legs are okay. I've got a birdhouse to go up there, and I have got another bee house to go up on the pillar garden. You can just about see them behind the chicken shed. Yeah, and the woven border will come through the back here. And I've just been looking at this beautiful beauty, the rhododendron that was in the garden. It's been here for years. By the size of it, it's absolutely, oh, I won't take you up there, I'm going to blind you by the sun. It's absolutely massive. It's the most gorgeous iridescent lilac colour when it comes out, and I will be showing you that. Let me just step back a little bit and give you a, it's way up there, probably too big, but hey, I love the seclusion it gives us, and segregation from the compost bins, which are in this little gap here behind it. Compost bins are here with the feed bins for the animals. We've got the leaf mulch here, a Christmas tree that's about 5 years old and it's hanging on in there, and I've just emptied this compost bin, and I'm about to offload some of the contents from the other ones into it so I can get down to the gorgeous stuff at the bottom. So I've tidied out the shepherd's hut, which I will show you. Lincoln is still sunbathing, absolutely loving it out here at the moment. We got an original Lloyd Loom chair in the blue colourway, and I got that from a auction house, and I went to the auction and I can't remember how much I paid for it, but it was lot 561. Hilarious. A couple of Archie's models are still in here. I get him to rehome them. Everything's had a wash, everything's had a spritz. I have my niece and great niece coming to stay over Easter, so they will be in here with the porta potty because we haven't built the toilet block yet, but I'm sure they'll be fine. And I'm thinking I might actually have an afternoon nap in here today because it's absolutely glorious today.